5, 4. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dos, you ass.
Fuck you.
That's good, Brian. Keep it up.
Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, it's Chris. You fucking asshole. Hey everybody.
Wait till he introduces the goddamn show, schmuck.
Hey everybody, this is Shooting the Ish. It's Chris along with George and the despicable Brian Williams.
The schmuck.
What the hell did I do?
And we're joined by Bryce Abood.
Yeah, I'm here.
Bryce baby.
Oh God, again.
You can check you can check out Bryce on WordPress. Bryce Abood, BryceAbood at WordPress. Is that how they do it? At WordPress or .wordpress?
It's bryceabood.wordpress.com.
.com. Not okay. So so Brian Williams, sorry for hurting your feelings.
What feelings?
Exactly. Fuck you, Brian.
But how's everyone doing today, regardless?
Very good.
Okay, let's jump right into it.
Yeah, I think we should.
All right. All right. Me and George saw Dallas Buyers Club. Did you guys see that, Brian and Bryce?
What?
I have not seen it yet.
Good.
Dallas Buyers Club is with Matthew McConaughey. And basically it's about the AIDS epidemic in the 80s and how companies, pharmaceutical companies, were slowly releasing drugs that weren't really that good for you, but testing them very slowly while people were dying rapidly.
Really?
So what the drug companies were doing was handing out placebos to half the people, knowing that these people would die soon.
That's
well, I mean, it's what the movie was centered around, but it wasn't necessarily about that.
It was about McConaughey living fast and hard, movie opens up with McConaughey having wild sex in a stall while the rodeo's going on. He's having sex with 2 girls while he's staring at a bull Gora man at the rodeo.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He finds out that he contracted AIDS. Now he's a pretty conservative Texan in the 80s, to which all his friends now start calling him a fag and that he has faggot blood. So he basically gets ostracized from his town, to which he says, I ain't no fag, and basically wants to fight everyone, including the doctor who tells him he has AIDS. So he starts researching AIDS and realizes that he's screwed. He has 30 days to live, and the medicine they're giving him is not good for him. Well, he actually schemes to make sure that he doesn't get the placebo. He pays some people to hand him the real drug under the table sort of thing. Then he starts going to Mexico and smuggling in some let's put it this way, not FDA approved, but tested by other scientists around the world.
Yeah,
and it works.
Which means that it works.
Right. But the pharmaceutical companies in power are not making money off these. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he starts becoming a distributor. And the way he does this is that he goes around the world getting these different medicines, some of which are very natural, like proteins and whatnot, and he starts a buyer's club. So he's just saying, I'm giving all this away, but there's a membership to be in the club. Think of Netflix of AIDS drugs.
Yeah.
A Netflix for AIDS drugs. Got it.
It's a drug flicks.
But so he starts to get a big following.
Net AIDS.
It was.
I'm thinking of a way you can make that like the pharmacy logo, how it's like the X going into like the P, you know, and like, there's a way to do that with Netflix, I think.
Now in the course of this, he actually meets someone who his Texan kind of rednecky self would not like, but through the course of the movie becomes friends with a transvestite played by who's that? Jude Law?
Jared Leto.
By Jared Leto. And Jared Leto plays a very feminine transvestite who, when you're watching it, sometimes you're like, wow, he's completely playing a female role.
Yeah, he was awesome. It was awesome, to say the least. He was really, really good. Matthew McConaughey was also awesome. And
it's crazy how like McConaughey is like having a string of like, you know, these critical acclaimed films like coming out.
I thought
like
Mud was fantastic. Mud?
Yeah. And also was it Killer Joe? And now this, which could, you know, potentially get him an Oscar nomination. It's like, where were you like 10 years ago when you were doing whatchamacallit, how to lose a guy in 10 days or something like that?
Oh, that's when he was making his money, because he made his money and now he's doing real acting, which is very smart.
Him and Jared Leto got deathly skinny for the roles.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. He lost 50 pounds, Matthew McConaughey, for this role.
It looked dangerously skinny.
Yeah, not healthy at all. At all.
Better to lose weight than to gain weight, you know, actually. Or whatever.
Not necessarily. I mean, that's like death skinny. They were both death skinny, like Ethiopian skinny.
Yeah, ribs showing and everything. They really fit the look of an AIDS patient. They really greased them up in some scene. They were pale, greasy. They looked bad. They looked very sick. The whole time the FDA is trying to shut them down. The FDA plays the character of the man and trying to shut them down. So he constantly is being blocked and kind of from bringing drugs into the country.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of dealt with the struggles of how he keeps this empire going and how he delivers drugs to the people that need it, all the while being villainized as a drug dealer, kind of.
Yeah. The most interesting part to me is that this whole film was shot with natural lighting. With a very minimal budget. There was no professional lighting going on in this entire movie, and it still looks really, really good.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even realize that I was watching it, but it looked great. Yeah, it looked great. Obviously, it was more about the story than any like film shots or anything like that.
No, but there was a lot of great shots. The one shot where McConaughey just parks on the side of the road and starts crying, that was beautiful.
Who directed it?
I'm not sure. Brian, can you pull that up, or someone pull that up?
I don't know. Can I pull that shit up? Hang on.
Okay.
No one cares if you can, Brian.
Click, 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 clack on the keyboard.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Yeah, you got it right there, huh? I got it right here.
Jean-Marc Vallée.
Yeah, what he said.
The good thing with McConaughey too is that he's not a pussy, and what I mean by that is that the roles he's been playing lately are really like some hard ass roles. Like Mud, that was really good too. So he has a certain cool factor, and even when he kind of changes, like, you know, through the course of the character arc, he doesn't become super sappy. He never becomes super sappy. He always retains a certain coolness. You know, he doesn't like cry for the sake of an over-emotional scene or anything like that. So that's the really good thing about him. I really like the string of movies he's on.
Yeah,
I've heard great things about Mud. I need to see Mud.
In fact, even though he like was fully in this one, even though he was fully in the gay community, when a gay person would come up to him and like hug him too tight, he'd be like, "Get the fuck off me."
Yeah.
But he was helping them, you know, at the same point. So, well, Mud was really cool. He played basically a derelict who was living on an island all by himself and basically using children to bring him goods so that he could build a boat to escape the island.
That's awesome.
Really cool story. But he played
either.
a complete dirtbag who was like eating beans out of a can for the most of the time.
Yummy.
Ooh, that sounds delish.
But yeah, McConaughey's really bringing it.
Yeah, all of a sudden. A movie star actually acting. What the hell?
I know. No, it was
Lincoln Lawyer, that was pretty good as well.
I liked that one. I liked it as well. That was fun.
That was the turning point for him, for the most part. I could be wrong.
So.
Have you guys seen Reign of Fire?
No, I haven't seen it.
Really? Why you gotta throw a monkey wrench into this thing, Bryce?
Well, I haven't seen it, and when it came out, I think I was like too cool for it. I was like, no way, you can see that. But now that I'm like, now that I don't know. I think a movie about dragons destroying the world sounds awesome. Is it not good?
Well, Christian Bale was in it as well.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I don't know. I'm not interested in dragons, so I don't know.
What was that other dragon movie?
Is it really a wrench being thrown? Is it bad?
I don't know. Let's see the IMDb profile.
Oh God! All right, this guy. All right.
Hang on. So what? All right. So it's 6 out of 10. So I guess it is watchable. But I guess when I saw it initially, the poster.
Bryce, have you seen Aragon?
I have not seen Aragon.
Some geek you are.
Yeah.
It's either all or nothing with you, Brian, isn't it?
I saw D-Wars.
The fudge is that?
D-Wars? It was this movie about dragons destroying the world. Just like Ring of Fire.
Sounds like some Korean. I don't know.
Totally American and totally awful.
Totally American and totally awful.
When does speaking of stolen Japanese concepts, when does 47 Ronin come out?
Oh, the Christmas Day, and I cannot wait to see that. I cannot wait to see that movie.
What's the deal with Christmas Day stuff? Grudge Match is also coming out on Christmas Day.
Yeah, they got that.
You really go to the movies on Christmas Day?
I have gone to movies every Christmas Day for as long as I can remember, and I go on my birthday too.
But you live in L.A. Did you do that when you lived back home?
No, I've only lived in L.A. for one birthday though.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and went for one Christmas as well. I do that back home. It's definitely a tradition.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was like this.
Yeah, Chris.
Okay.
And I will be here on Christmas Day, so I'm going to go see it December 26th when I will be in Kansas. And I know this sounds crazy, but here in LA, there is no theater that comes close to what I get to go see the 47 Ronin on in Wichita, Kansas. The West Side Warren 3D IMAX theater is awesome, and it's like my favorite theater in the world, and I can't believe I get to see 47.
You're telling me there's better theater in Kansas than in Los Angeles?
Man, so the Chinese theater just got renovated, and it is pretty sick, but the sound is not as good, and the screen isn't that much bigger here than it is in Kansas. I mean, you're talking about a few inches. It really doesn't matter. The screen that I have in Kansas, I'm telling you, it's that IMAX theater in Wichita, in my hometown, is so awesome. I'll take you sometime when we're rich. I'll take you.
All right.
Have you been to any of these Eden theaters? They have one in Marina Del Rey here. It's pretty cool.
An Eden theater? No, I haven't heard of that.
No one's really paying attention to the movie. It's just the gimmick of eating while watching. The people talk to you and.
Eating. I'm sorry. Yeah, they do that. They do that in Kansas. Of course, they do that in Kansas. We're all like, the land of the fatties.
Is that true? Everyone's overweight in the Midwest.
Not everyone, but way more than out here. And you would definitely notice by going there and looking around that we have things like, you hit a button on your chair and they bring you food, and we've had that since I was in third grade.
Really?
They start you young.
Yeah, we've had that for a long time. Yeah, I went and saw. I remember doing that with Pinocchio with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. It was opening day for that movie theater, and we went. And so whatever year that was, we ordered food at the chair.
What did you order?
I don't know.
Chicken fingers.
You ordered the chicken.
Don't ask me so angrily, and I might have the information ready.
Where were you?
You got the Batman. Where are they?
That wasn't out of anger. That was inquisitive.
This is me being inquisitive.
We probably got a hot dog, George.
Yeah.
What of it?
We don't talk like that, you bastard.
I never ate a hot dog. I don't know what a hot dog is.
That was a hot dog anyway.
But when I was in New York, one of the phrases we picked up was, just take the yellow. Take the yellow. We say take the yellow all the time. So funny.
So that was Dallas Buyers Club. It was a pretty good movie if you guys want to.
Yeah, way to change the subject, pal.
Okay, what else is going on? Speaking of sickness, what were you saying, Brian? That Hugh Jackman might have had cancer?
Yeah, apparently he had it on his nose. Go figure. Just a small malignant tumor on his nose that his wife told him to check out, and sure enough, it was cancerous, and the doctor, removed it. So. No,
that's what happens out here in California. A lot of people get that skin cancer, especially when you get older. The people have to go in every couple of months, and it's pretty painful. They just dig it out of your skin in multiple places.
When did this happen, Brian?
Well, I found out about it this past week. Hang on 1 second. All I know is that he decided to post up the effects basically on Twitter or.
Of course, nothing's kept to yourself anymore these days.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm just since you're a public person, you have to pretty much be acquiescent to the public for the most part.
No, you don't.
When I was a little kid...
Well, I guess some celebrities feel like they have to.
When I was a little kid, there was a man in the neighborhood who was always at the bagel shop. That's a very New York thing, the bagel shop on the corner. He was always there, and he had a gigantic ball on his nose.
Yeah,
like a growth. I
know who you're talking about.
It looked like Rudolph. It was...
I know.
I mean, I don't know what it was. It was probably some sort of cancerous material, I imagine.
Uh-huh.
And he was a super alcoholic. I just thought, oh man, he's an alcoholic. That's what happens if you drink a lot when I was little. But I don't know what it was, and I don't know if that guy's still around, but that nose was big. It was like a big golf ball sized thing at the end of his tip of his nose.
Yeah, it was big.
Right. I mean, it was reported like 2 days ago in terms of like him removing the cancer. So
is he okay or what?
Yeah, he's fine. Just they haven't like found any other tumors. It's just basically they had it removed from his nose.
Thanks for the update on Hugh Jackman's nose, Brian.
That's crazy, dude. That's bizarre. My jaw dropped when you told me that. That was me who whistled, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Brian, what news are you bringing, Brian?
Brian, did he Wolverine it off his nose?
Yeah, if he Wolverined it off his nose, I don't think he would have gone and visit the doctor. You dumb fuck.
Nah.
George, if you knew anything about Wolverining it off his nose would mean simply that he could heal quickly after the procedure, not that he could just automatically snicked it off his face.
Snick that shit.
Excuse me, I got the 2 comic book fucks over here.
That was beautifully put, Bryce.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, why don't you guys team up and go fuck yourselves?
We'd probably do better than you could, George.
These two are like the Wonder Twins.
What's the virus activate? Form of a shark. Great white, preferably.
Kill me.
And it used to be like a bucket, like a bale, like a pail of water or some shit like that.
All right, Brian. What was your other news, Brian? That news was terrible. Next news.
All right. John Landis. You know the director, John Landis.
Oh yeah, I think about him all the time, and
I'm just saying, like he's the director of many of our the classic films that we've grown up on. Like,
does he have a growth on his elbow or so? Is there?
No, he doesn't. He's just basically coming out against Hollywood now and saying that studios aren't in the movie business anymore. And this is basically what we were talking about. How in the previous episode, we were talking about how Sony still had owned the rights to Spider-Man, and when Spider-Man 3 came out, their contract was almost up, so they renewed it and decided to reboot it. And I'm just going to read a little bit of the snippet of what his complaints were, saying that there's no original ideas, and what there is that it's never about the idea, it's about the execution of the idea. Okay. The film studios are now subdivisions or huge multinational corporations, such as Time Warner, British Petroleum, and Sony. And, these are right at this point, nations. They're giant international things that don't pay taxes, and they're like pirates. It really has to do with desperation because they don't know how to get people into the theater, so they bring back 3D and make all this kind of shit. And he continues that it's very common now to spend more money selling a movie than making a movie.
Yeah.
So the reason they make remakes and sequels is because they're brands. And, they'll remake movies because they have pre-sold titles. For instance, like he brings up Tobe Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is a classic in its own right. But the remakes make a hell of a lot more money just because of the brand it is. You basically... Oh, I'm sorry, am I boring somebody?
Well, I mean, studios have always been used for TV as well, and now they're being used for video games and other motion captures. So the studio's really just a holding pen for whoever's renting it out at the moment.
Oh, and he also went off on like YouTube and Google saying like, how they basically thrive on piracy and, in order for them to thrive, they have to steal intellectual property. So how
does he plan to stop that?
Again, this is just a rant. It's just him ranting. He's not really offering any solutions.
Yeah.
So it's just basically him like saying how they're the only way for like YouTube, Google, and Yahoo, these companies to thrive is to basically steal intellectual property, And
so no one in Hollywood steals intellectual property. No producers, no studios steal ideas.
Right, and what practically is also like Hollywood has been like this for years. He's acting like this is like some new thing. It's just that now technology has grown exponentially. That's the only thing. They've always been remaking films since back in the 1920s.
Well, look, even the golden age of Hollywood, the 40s, that was all copy and paste shit. Yeah, we remember Casablanca, but there was 50 other ones just like that.
Right.
So what are you going to say? Oh, movies were good in the 70s? That's because they were being made independently.
Well, right.
How many of those same 80s movies were made over and over and over again?
What happened with the 70s was basically the studio crumbling. Back in the day, the studios were king. And something happened along the ways, like nearing the 60s.
Yeah, because they were irrelevant. They were doing those big set design musicals and stupid things.
Yeah. Right, it was basically like the musicals and I forgot what else. And the Sword and Sandal epics. Those were the big things.
What is his solution?
He says, he says that there will always be good movies being made. It's just harder for the majority to see them because studios are no longer interested in making good movies. They're interested in the movies that will bring you in. So you'll always have another Avatar or Gravity, which is wonderful to look at now, but but it's just entertainment spectacle. That's all it is. That's what it's called.
Yeah, well, that's why I guess a lot of those. That's why TV took over in the drama stuff, because it's like, how many times are people going to go to the movies and feel like an idiot for watching something so stupid?
Right. He does sing like television's praises now because now TV's taking more risks than films are now more than ever. Cinematic in terms of giving it a cinematic landscape for viewers to watch.
Yeah, man.
And taking just plain old original ideas and just put them on the tubes. So.
And isn't it crazy how TV audiences these days are like geared to like binge watch? Like, it's so common to find a show you like on Netflix and just like, knock it out in the course of a week.
Right.
I know.
And like even now, like the shows that are exclusive to Netflix are designed to watch, like 7 hours, 8 hours of TV in the course of a day or 2 days. It's not meant to be that congested, but people will do it all the time. And, Marvel just signed that they're going to have 4 Marvel TV shows, that are exclusive to Netflix. They're not even TV shows, I guess. They're just Netflix shows. Which is bizarre. That's so crazy to me, I think. But it's such a sign of the times. It's
no longer episodic content. It's like chapters of a novel, and the novel gets released,
Right.
Right.
I think it also reminded me of like a couple months back.
Well, they're even shooting them differently now. Like Arrested Development, when it came out, Like It or Not, that new season on Netflix, they didn't necessarily shoot it with an episodic feel. It was kind of like you had to stick around like 4 episodes to get the full first act of the season.
Right.
Uh-huh.
What were you saying, Brian?
Well, I mean, this topic reminded me of when Kevin Spacey went on that little rant himself. I think it was at some convention, and he was talking about how, if you basically put out original content and, presented to people at a reasonable price, people will watch, like for instance, like his House of Cards, which apparently is a big hit, and basically comparing the movie industry to the music industry, and why the music industry is crumbling is because they don't, they're not reasonable with the public, price wise for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you're going to see less and less movies that cost more and more money. Well, the studios only make at this point 12 movies a year.
Yeah,
each studio makes 10. Maybe the big studios make 10 to 12. The little studios, three, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So,
probably.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of get as much money in the moment as you can.
Right, and the only original films are going to be like not so much the big studios, but the subsidiaries, like the Fox Searchlight, those type of production.
Also, the DVD sales are way down. So how are you going to get it in the second window? Or how are you gonna make the money there? You have to make it in the box office or in some long-term video on demand stuff.
Right, and he also mentioned, John Landis, that the reason, the way that the films back in the day were able to make their money was through word of mouth, but now because we're so numbers obsessed today, it's all about the first weekend.
Right.
It's all about the first weekend. If you don't make the money back in the first weekend, the film is done for, because now, because remember, films are now competing again with, you're competing with video games, you're competing with television, so why should people feel the need to go back to the theaters, so.
Yeah.
You gotta really grab them, the first weekend. It's like I said, they have to make their money back the first week. If not, there's.
Hey, speaking of, I guess new media or stuff like that, different concepts on media. Did you see the Bob Dylan music video that came out this week?
Yeah,
I checked it out in between episodes here, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it took what was that old song he had?
Like a Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone, and basically what it was he had like the guy from ESPN, like it looks like he's doing an ESPN show, the people from the cooking channel, the people from the shopping channel, the news, and they all kind of sang, were mouthing the song as they were acting as they would on their own shows. So the app or whatever this little widget is that you change the channel and everyone is singing the Bob Dylan song no matter what channel you change.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it was really blew up on the internet this week. So it's just kind of interesting. He's such an old act in a way, but with a new, fresh concept.
I think Dylan is always relevant. And even when he was on his like crazy Christian tear, like in the 80s, when he was doing his, gospel music, musically he released some good stuff, but even just the fact that he went that route, I think was just like it's kind of what I think would be the equivalent today of doing something like releasing a huge viral video that's playing with the boundaries, or like with Radiohead, with releasing an album where you pay what you want to download, something like that. Like,
right.
I'm not saying it was a gimmick for him because he felt it with conviction, but just like following that that crazy route with an artist, I don't know. Yeah, he's always somebody who's on point, and he's awesome. I love Dylan. he's great.
Yeah, it's very refreshing to see someone that has good music get it out there in a way that people are watching, instead of all the Instead of all the new stuff that's thrown in your face, you know, you see like the crappiest new music video that comes out and it's already got like 10 million views on Facebook just because of the spectacle of it. And the song is crap or the video's crap or, I don't mean to sound like such an old man, but some of the stuff, some of the quality of the stuff is really low these days. It was kind of refreshing to see something that good come out.
Well, you didn't like Gangnam Style with 2 billion views?
I watched it a lot of times. Don't get me wrong. But, or what about that other one? What the fox say?
Hey, that's gonna be a children's book now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, but see, stuff like Gangnam Style, that was a fun dance. But there's so much garbagey stuff out there too.
That's true.
That's gonna be a children's book. What the fox say?
Totally.
What the fox?
What the fox?
Anything else going on in the news?
Our pal Rob Ford is hanging around. He's still there up in Toronto.
He's so funny. So the original thing was that they suspended him, but they couldn't fire him. But now they're even trying to rewrite the rules to can him.
Yeah. So they're trying to get rid of him. Let's see, I got clips from his press conference over here. See what he got to say.
Worst day of my life, except for the death of my father.
No.
For the past 6 months, I have been under tremendous stress. The stress is largely of my own making. I have apologized and I have tried to move forward. This has proven to be almost impossible. The revelations yesterday of cocaine, escorts, prostitution has pushed me over the line.
But now he's over the line?
And I used unforgivable language. And again, I apologize. These allegations are 100% lies.
Oh, he's saying they're all lies? Is this the most recent press conference?
What are you doing, George?
It says November 14th, 2013. That's pretty recent.
Maybe the prostitution. Well, since the last time we talked about Rob Ford, he's had a press conference where people were basically laughing at the things he was saying. Like, for instance, they asked, since that video was taken of you drunken outside of that sports arena, have you been drunken? Have you done that again? And he says, no, I have not been drunk outside of that sports arena again. Also, the Iron Sheik showed up to challenge him to an arm wrestling match.
Rob Ford, you son of a bitch! I'm gonna break your fucking bag. Cheeseburger! I break your fucking neck. Rob Ford! Die, bitch!
Okay. One of the reporters quoted, so Iron Sheik showed up in Toronto to challenge Rob Ford, and the reporters swarmed him because the reporters are swarming everything because why not, right? Like this guy did crack, so why not swarm him all day with cameras? Anyway, basically the reporter quoted Iron Sheik as saying, Rob Ford, you smoked the crack, you eated the cheeseburger, what kind of man are you? I don't know what else to say.
You son of a bitch! I'm gonna break your fucking bag.
He's gonna break his bag.
Is he still wrestling just for laughs? Like he's still with the WWE or not?
I don't know if he's affiliated, but he's definitely not wrestling.
He's too old.
Who cares? He's still entertaining. He's far. He gotta be.
George, can you pull up that famous clip where he goes nuts and he has no teeth in?
Which one though?
Where he's sitting in that like D-list studio, like the college campus looking studio.
Okay, gotcha.
Iron Sheik is always explosive and vulgar, but a couple of years ago he was really high for like every day. So why would he be upset with Rob Ford? I have no clue.
Why not?
Iron Sheik has been more high longer than Rob Ford.
He has been high longer than Rob Ford.
Iron Sheik has been high for the last 40 years.
Let's see here.
7, WrestleMania 3, the Pontiac Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan. Over 93,000 fans. You teamed up with Nikolai Volkov to take on the Killer Bees. And that's where your feud began with Hacksaw Jim Duggan when he interfered at the end of that match. What was it like to be in that massive crowd?
You asked me excellent question. The great feeling all time I had all my life, Mr. Dan Maloney, it was that night, Pontiac, Michigan, Silverdome.
Correct. Which Silverdome? Pontiac?
Yes.
He doesn't know.
That was
No, he doesn't know where he is.
great honor, great feeling to wrestling next to 93,000 people, no any musician, no any football player, no any sport event in your country called Madison Square Garden. Pontiac, Michigan, exam wrestling. It was a great feeling, Dan Maloney. Try wrestling with Jim Brazilian and that jabroni Brian Blair.
Brian Blair, right.
Brian Blair, you are another faggot son of a bitch, no good, low life. So I want to let you know, you are punk, you are fag, you are punk, little gay, worse than Michael Jackson.
Of course,
It was a
clarify
great
that.
feeling. I have a lot
Yeah, because Michael Jordan was a legend.
of respect for them. His partner, Jim Brazilian from Minnesota, great athlete, great high jumper, but that little punk, Brian Blair, another little fag, worse than Michael Jackson. And I didn't like him. I didn't like his attitude. He was the punk. I can break his fucking back. Break his back, make him humble, and then fuck his ass. I didn't do it in the Pontiac, Michigan, because respect my sport and respect myself.
You were professional.
Oh, professional. I was ready to do a team, all country way, make him humble. Suplex him, put him in a camel clutch, break his back, and then fuck his ass, make him humble to respect Iron Sheik.
Well, good luck suplexing Rob Ford. He's a big boy.
Yeah, until you respect the Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik actually, the gay radio show on Sirius invited him on because he kept using the word fag.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, why does this guy keep saying the word fag? So they invited him on, and he was going off, saying fag, fag, fag. He goes, I like the good gays, but not the fag gays. And they were just having a ball with him. They started laughing. They're like, we love this guy.
Oh, that's great.
So anyway, the circus...
Is he like, is he for real? I never really fully understood him.
Oh, yeah, that's him.
He had, keep in mind, he had no teeth in during that interview, as he claimed he was a professional.
He's a professional.
I mean, he's his job was to work the crowd and be a bad guy, but at the same time, he's completely high and he's a proud man. He thinks he's the #1 champion. He was a real amateur wrestler in the Olympics in Iran, but I think he escaped the country when the Ayatollah thing happened. The interesting thing is that he started playing an Iranian anti-American character on TV, although he had escaped. I guess that happened with Germans, though, and in Hollywood. They were always playing Nazis, even though, a lot of those people had escaped Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
He's an AAU champion.
That guy is so funny, man. He won't be able to pick up Rob Ford to suplex him.
But Bryce, that's legit.
I gotta tell you, what really sucks is that what's his name is not around to play him. Chris Farley.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone's saying Chris Farley is just like this guy, or vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think if Farley was around, he would absolutely nailed the characterization.
Well, okay, this
could have been his chance to win an Academy Award, for like the biopic about Rob Ford. He could have totally changed his image.
That's good. Okay, so another thing he did this week was that on the floor of some sort of, I don't know if it was like a Canadian Senate thing or some parliamentary floor, let's put it that way. Rob Ford, I guess, got mad at someone and went to charge them and run and yell at them, but didn't realize there was a woman directly in the path. And the woman got basically carried by his fatness for like 5 to 7 feet. And she's screaming and slapping at him because she's saying it's an assault, but he doesn't even seem to realize that he's there plowing through her.
I want to see that video.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't even realize, like he's looking to the side.
Yeah.
His body is directly in line with her body, and she's being dragged by his run. But he doesn't even seem to be looking at her, even though she's fully yelling and screaming at him. So I think he's definitely still on something, even if it's just booze. Now his brother came out, and his brother looks like him.
I think that's why he charged, because like somebody was talking shit about his brother, and he was trying to defend his brother.
Okay, well the brothers have been defending him, saying, "Hey, he's done his job good." Now the brother is also big, so they kind of are like the Rob and Rex Ryan of the Canadian Senate or whatever they're a part of. That would be a good tag team match with Iron Sheik if Rob and Rex Ryan, the two heavyweights, took on Rob Ford and his brother.
That would be funny. I'd pay to see that.
What about the video where he runs headfirst into the camera?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
God, that is awesome.
That does look like Chris Farley. That does look like
I just saw that right now. I haven't seen that before.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
There's like videos of him falling. But here's the thing. Everyone has his whole life gave him a pat on the back for being a funny drunk. Now the allegations come out, and of course everyone's fucking offended, which they're really not. They're getting worked up. Everyone's somehow worked up. You got this guy who's a crackhead who's, okay, he's acting ridiculous, but the media is acting just as ridiculous around him.
Right.
Like, all of a sudden, when these stories happen, all these people that are saying, shame, shame, shame on you, come out of the woodwork, and they're all saying it now on a televised stage. Whatever. Poor Rob Ford. Good luck, Rob Ford, whatever you do.
Wherever you are.
Cheeseburger!
Cheeseburger. You better watch out, Rob Ford. Iron Sheik has no clue who you are, but is angry at you.
I break your fucking neck!
Yes.
Just be careful.
How is Rob Ford? Is anything else going on in the news?
A few things.
Well, yeah. When you have the whole crowd laughing at everything you say, even in these press conferences, how serious is Rob Ford supposed to even take the situation?
Yeah. Who the hell knows? I mean, he just wants to party.
Yeah.
He's like what everyone thought George Bush was like. Like everyone thought George Bush was just a fun drunk that somehow goofed up and had a too serious job for himself.
He's
and now we're seeing Rob Ford really be that guy.
He is so amazing. He's awesome. I'm cracking up at Rob Ford every time.
Yeah, he fell off the scale. He was cheering that he weighed in at 313 pounds and then fell on the floor off the scale.
That is true.
Oh my God.
But it is. I understand why people are up in arms, because you can't have. As adults, we could say, all right, if you're a functional addict, do your thing, and as long as you perform at your job and all of this stuff. But for people who live in Toronto to have little kids and then to say, oh, this guy's, the guy to look up to. This is the mayor, and oh, by the way, he's a crackhead. He's a wild partier and all that stuff. I guess it sets a really bad example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys familiar with
they're
this
Canadian. Who knows how their brain is wired?
Right. Yeah, they're interesting.
All them trees up there.
Yeah, are you guys familiar with this knockout game that's being played with a bunch of kids in Brooklyn? Like they're just they're little gangs of kids walking around and just cold cocking people.
That is so messed up. I saw that video.
Couple people died, and a couple
anyone
people
died from that, really?
Well, yeah, a couple people that got hit died because there's been a lot of attacks, and then a couple people even killed some of their attackers. Like they thought they were being assaulted.
Apparently a 60-year-old woman was attacked, and they didn't know she had a gun, and she killed 2 of the teenagers.
What a punk!
Awesome.
I did like punk stuff when I was little, like peeing on things and running away. But
not like cold cocking and I just don't understand.
Punch your friends. That's better competition.
For real.
I mean, even though we used to punch the weakest one of our friends, it's still.
Right. I can see. Listen, I can understand. Like for instance, Tyson. Mike Tyson, when he would like get into an elevator with an old woman and then pretty much cold cock her just to rob her. I can understand that because he's trying to get money. I understand the need to cold cock someone just to see if you could do it, you know.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
And it seems like the people who are being targeted are mainly Jews, from what I've heard.
Well, it's because it's happening in that part of Brooklyn.
Well, by you, but I think this started in New Jersey, and this actually, I heard of this going on in the Midwest and St. Louis as well. So I guess this is all over.
All right, so, okay.
These kids are despicable. How are you going to just... It's not even like going to rob someone. You're just running up from the side, like not even in front of them, from the side, from behind them, and wailing on them like in the head. Like, who does that? Who does that?
Of course, the news puts the video up a million times so to inspire more kids to jump on board with the game.
That's right. Do it right. I swear, it just goes to show you how much of a powerful weapon the media is. Just the media in general.
What's that fool's name from Zimmerman's gonna be like, see?
that fucking douchebag. He's another one. Yeah.
It's a completely different story, but of course.
No, but I'm just saying, I mean, you know, here's a guy who should be in jail, has no business being out in society. You know, a guy who thinks he's a tough guy when he has a gun, and then when you take it away from him, he acts like a fucking pussy. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess his wife broke up with him for something gun related, and now he pointed a gun at his girlfriend as well.
Right, which goes to show you that women have no business in the jury. It was 6 women, like what, 5 white and 1 that was non-white. Who knows what the hell she was, you know? And they decided to let this guy get off.
George punch Brian when he's not looking.
No, he's gonna try. He's gonna try and shoot me, and then he's gonna try. Hopefully, his lawyer is gonna try and get a jury of 5 women, 5 white, 6 women, 5 white, 1 non-white, to pretty much have him get off. That's
if I shoot you in the face, execution style, Brian, and there's more than half women on that jury, I'm walking. I am walking, absolutely.
Dude, I know you are walking. You know why? Because they would actually want to fuck you, unfortunately.
Well, I guess...
it's the truth. It's the truth. You know what? You want to know why? Because women don't know what the fuck they want. That's all I got.
Oh, Brian, let's say how you really feel.
Oh, man. They see George and they just see this convoluted mess of everything. I don't know what I was.
They see this, yeah.
Yeah, but there's no. He can't really be that bad, can he?
That's what they keep telling themselves. I
have to find out for myself.
I'm looking for a guy who looks great and treats me great.
Right. Yeah, maybe it's a black guy in the face or whatever the fuck.
Well, I know one thing's for sure. If I need to, if I have a problem with any black person, I'm going to claim to the cops that they try to knockout game me. Including an old woman, I'll claim that she tried to knockout game me.
Yeah, man.
But it is certainly, I guess it's gonna. I don't know if it'll turn into a racial thing, but you know, it's kind of, it definitely is all black kids doing this. It is kind of like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like stories of like poverty from like ancient Europe, or from like old Europe, you know, like poor kids in the street doing like really dastardly things to like get a couple pennies or something.
The crazy thing is they're not robbing anyone, they're just doing
No, they are too. They are robbing the people.
Are they?
Yeah. The cases, they are robbing the people too. If the people are knocked out, then they just grab the wallet and then walk away.
Oh, what the fuck?
But sometimes they don't.
Yeah, sometimes they don't. It is certainly, black people have enough problem being in a group. I was talking to my buddy. He says he feels uncomfortable when he's around more black people because he says there's a limit. If you're more than 3 black people standing together, then it's too suspicious. And he's a nice guy, and for him to say that, I said, well, why are you saying that? And he says, because it's too much heat for us.
No, wait a minute. Is he on the East Coast or the West Coast?
Well, he's on the West Coast.
Okay, so he's afraid of stop and frisk or worse.
I don't know. He said it was a rule. It's like not more than 3 black guys standing together at one point.
I'm not opposing a question. I'm just saying he's probably afraid of stop and frisk or worse.
If I found out that my kid was playing this knockout game, whatever color he winds up being, I'm gonna.
I don't even know.
I'm gonna wait until he's walking into his room and just boom right on the side of the head. And I'll probably kill him, but hopefully I'll have a few more. By
the racial argument that would come out of this is people saying, "Hey, you frickin' charlatan, Al Sharpton, where are you right now? What do you have to say about this right now? Hey, Obama, that was a nice speech about how this could be your son. Could this also be your son?" That's the discourse that'll come out of it. I'm not even sure how big of a story this is. I only saw this on the internet. I didn't see this on TV, but then again, I don't watch much TV.
I think I saw it on TV. I'm not sure either, but it's regardless, it's messed up, and you can't. That's also falls in line with the pussification of America.
Yeah, because it's punching someone. Now, look, if you were to execute like a power bomb or a highly coordinated move, that would be more kudos. But a punch out of nowhere, blindsided punch.
Yeah.
Like if it was like a good coordinated move, like like a tag team move, like one guy goes up on the shoulder, the 3D through a table.
Yeah, that's good. Like if you could pull that move off on somebody,
that would be admirable. If you could pull off a 3D or a stunner, like a stunner or a rock bottom specifically, that would be admirable. Because there's a setup and then there's like a 2-second pause and then the move.
Or a people's elbow. If you could give someone a people's elbow on, like in the middle of the street, like running from side to side, from one side of the street to the other, and you get that on somebody, and then you rob them, you deserve their money.
Yeah, you get points for that. But no super kicks, no blindside punches.
Yeah, those are too easy because you could really hurt somebody.
You got to do like a hurricanrana, or even if you jump off a building and try like a belly splash. If you get that, that's like high risk. But this is pussy stuff because it's like saying who's the bravest. But in a gang situation, how fucking brave are you if there's 5-on-1? I mean, it's not a 1-on-1 situation. No, so who's the bravest would be, hey, there's the biggest fucker in the bar. Let me see if I could take him on 1-on-1.
Or the craziest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I respect much more. If you want to get into some shit, to be like, all right, I'm gonna go fuck with this guy. Let's see what happens. You don't run up from behind him and smash the chair over his head. The result of this, I guess you could say it's parenting. You could say whatever. It's kids being assholes. But the result of this is that towns where this is going on, no one's gonna support that town. If that town is already in economic depression, expect worse economic depression because no one's gonna fucking want to go there. It might be true.
Who wants to go there? Who wants to go to work? Look, people just want to go to work and mind their business. Doesn't mean you're rich. Kids don't realize that because people who have nothing don't realize that if you work, you can get a little something. So now they see the person working getting a little something, and they go, I'm going to knock him out because he has and I want.
Yeah, so instead of working for it.
The end result of that is people are going to leave the neighborhood. No one wants the business. It's going to get worse. They're kids. They don't understand that stuff. No. I didn't hear that they were specifically Jewish, but some of those videos were graphic, like people getting knocked out hard. Plus, like do it to a woman, that's kind of creep shit.
Doing it to anybody is bad, but especially a woman that most likely will not be able to defend herself, even if you punched her from straight on in the face.
It is an argument for cameras everywhere. I hate to say that. The only instance, there was a lot of instances of this. They only have a couple camera feeds of it.
Yeah, well,
this is not good. People are bringing martial law upon themselves. This is terrible.
Yeah, it's messed up to say the least.
But George, knock out Brian. He's not looking.
Shut up. Oh yeah. One black guy knocked out will pretty much make up for all the other knockouts.
Yeah. We should do a PR thing. We should all knock out Brian and say, no, look, it's an equal opportunity here.
Right. Like, listen, guys.
That would be a great headline in the Post. Black guy knocked out by knockout king.
Right. Like, it's okay. It's happening to everyone.
White guy says, Brian. I just wanted to have some
knockout. Yeah, I can see it now. Knock out Brian, and you can save the Philippines. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's raise the stakes then.
Knock out Brian, and we'll donate $5,000 in your name to the Philippines.
Oh, speaking of the Philippines, I spoke to a Facebook fan of ours, Gilbert, and he was basically saying how they're basically passing, whatever they have, they're giving to the other people. They don't have a lot, so like they're getting some used clothes from some people, handing it out to those other people. They're at a repackaging station trying to get relief goods in and then get them out, but it's such a mess over there that's really hard to do that. So there are a lot of relief efforts going on, but it's not easy. That country is a series of islands, and the cleanup effects are bad, and there's people who are missing, so it's just a mess. But Gilbert was saying anyway, anyone could help everyone over there would be very grateful, as it's a big job to clean up.
Well, I wish them the best of luck. It's an unfortunate situation. What can you do? We hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah. What else is anything else going on?
I think that's about it.
For about an hour. All right, everybody. So, Bryce, we're sorry if we bored you to death with all the serious talk.
No, man. No, I'm in it.
Yeah, he's still in.
Into it, I guess. I'm into it.
Bryce, what are you doing after this? What do you have going on?
No.
Rain fart.
No, I'm actually, speaking of Rob Ford, there's that Jean-Claude Van Damme video where he does the splits on the trucks.
Oh yeah.
And somebody tracked Rob Ford's face onto him, and it made it look like it's Rob Ford doing the splits, and it's pretty funny.
That video is real, right?
Right.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, totally real.
Yeah, that's
totally real.
So Jean-Claude Van Damme did a split in between two trucks that were driving, and he's in a full
I love
split.
that. I love that video.
And I've been prepping and trying to execute smoothly a replication of that in my living room of my RoboCop action figure between two Transformer semis and stop go animation, complete smooth motion. And so that's kind of a project that I built a camera rig for it, and I've got all set up. I just need to do it. But
that's awesome. Where can we see that?
Well, when it's done, it'll be on YouTube. But right now, I haven't even really successfully shot it yet. I keep trying and failing because stop go. It's like a typewriter. If you mess up, if you mess up noticeably, then your whole thing is messed up. You gotta go back and reposition a lot of stuff. So. I've been working slow at it, but one of these days I'll actually sit down and just really knock it out and become a YouTube sensation.
Wow, he's an animator. Do you have a YouTube channel name?
No, I don't. I don't. I'm gonna have to make one for whenever I have this video.
All right, so whenever that comes,
guys, since you guys have been talking about this Van Damme nonsense, have you seen the spoof that Channing Tatum put up?
Yeah,
right.
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
What is it?
It's him messing around the 22 Jump Street.
Right. Yeah. He's on the set of 22 Jump Street, and instead of two cars he's splitting, he has his foot on two crates. And then, the guys start moving it away from each other, and basically he hurts his groin. Let's just put it that way.
Yes, it's terrible.
All right. Well, I think Bryce's parody is going to be much better. I'm sure it'll be on his blog when it comes out. All right, everybody out there who wants to check out Bryce, you could check him out at bryceabood.wordpress.com. Bryce is spelled B-R-Y-C-E, and Abood is A-B-O-O-D. That's one word, bryceabood.wordpress.com. Thank you for coming on the show, Bryce.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
For sure. And Brian and George, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brian, thank you for being super passionate about this show.
Yeah, man.
What's it?
I don't know what you're talking about, kid. I really don't.
Yeah, kid.
All right.
Well, yeah.
As always, thanks, everybody. Check us out at shootingtheish.com, shootingtheish@gmail.com if you want to send us an email, or a Facebook message, facebook.com/shootingtheish. Check us out on iTunes, YouTube. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Right.
Yo, Brian, what happened? You're not very enthused.
No, I'm happy to get off. I mean, I'm kidding.
Me too. That's where I'm headed.
Brian,
peace out, guys.
Brian sees this show as a jail sentence that he can never leave.
The bars are just so tall.
Yeah, kid.
Brian, do you pray at night not to be on the show anymore? Please let Chris die.
Yes, I'll let you know.
Thanks,
Take care, kids.
Thanks as always, Brian, for really giving your all for the show.
Someone's got to give it a college try. The old college try.
Well, we'll see what happens. By next week, maybe Rob Ford will be, who knows?
Dead.
Replace me. Yeah.
Dead?
Oh, yeah. He might replace me in this show. Why not?
Yeah, if we get Rob Ford, you're out of here, Brian.
I vote for that.
Shit.
All
That's
right.
work for you to do. That's fine.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.